Hello and welcome to Queenie's Card of the Week for the week of October 8th. I know. I have to think about the date before when I'm rehearsing these, which I don't rehearse. And you can kind of tell by the way it meanders. Anyway, my name is Erin. Queenie. Some folks call me. I named myself that, so there, neater. Anyway, I have been doing tarot readings and intuitive readings for about 34 years. And I used to do card of the month. And once a month I would pull a card and I would do a video of that card. And you can probably see those, some of the older ones on my YouTube channel. I stopped doing that a couple years ago. And then just a couple months ago, I started doing card of the week, and I'm really enjoying it. It's important to follow inspired action. And if you're not inspired to do it and it becomes a real drag, what are you doing it for? You have to ask yourself. Anyway, so the card for this week, for the week of October 8th, this is the Page of Pentacles. Now, last week we had the Ace of Swords. And if you look at what unfolded last week, unfortunately, it seemed that out in the world and in our country, in U.S. In particular, it really seemed like there was some cutting happening, but it didn't seem like that was as much as I thought it was going to be the sort of truth. But if you can look at the larger picture of it, it did cut through, because we are seeing with more clarity stuff that has been going on for a long time. We're seeing it with much more clarity, and there's a lot more communication about it, and brave communication, as a matter of fact. Anyway, so on to the Page of Pentacles. So last week, aces are gifts from the universe that involve whatever the suit is that they represent. Last week it was swords. Pages are also kind of like a beginning, but the pages are always learning. So basically the page and Pentacles is about manifestation, security, groundedness, fertility, all the ways that you are able to feel stable and secure and create a good foundation. It's kind of similar to the Emperor card, which is the number 4 of the major arcana, which is he builds a firm foundation. This is kind of a more in your daily life thing. The Emperor builds a soul foundation. This is more in your daily life. So pages, like I said, they're always learning. So that would mean that this week we are given the opportunity, well, some people see it as a challenge, but we're given the opportunity to learn something new about how to create some sort of inner and outer security and stability for ourselves. What will it take? What do we need to do? And this also tells me that the ways that we were, habits, ways that we were using to be secure, are not working anymore. And so this page indicates that it's time to learn a new way to find stability. Because, you know, once you become stable, if you're kind of balancing and everything, if you're surfing or whatever it is that you're trying to balance, and you can use that as a metaphor for life, you don't just stand still. Standing still may not do it because the ground under you, something is going to move. So you always have to figure out a way to maintain stability. And the Page of Pentacles this week is kind of giving you the opportunity to learn a new way to have that stability. Also, to learn a new way to feel secure while you're out in the world. You know, it could be as literal as taking a self-defense course, or, you know what I mean? It could be that literal. But pages are always learning, and they're always willing to learn. So it's important this week for you to be willing to learn a new way to create stability and to create security in your life. Pages also, because pages are learning, and this is Pentacles, it could also be going back to school to add to whatever it is that's bringing security into your life. It could be deciding to take a class to help inspire you, or like I said, add to your repertoire of what you do in the world, or how you manifest in the world, how you create security and stability financially, materially. So this might be a time where you decide to take a class. Let's see, Pentacles. It could be also, you could be taking a workshop on how to manifest. And I know everybody thinks it sounds really, really cheesy, you know, because people have a thing against the law of attraction. But there's a way that it can be used that assists you in getting out of your own way. You know, it's with anything, learning anything new. You have to use your critical thinking and understand and what we are being given the opportunity to do. And maybe this doesn't have anything to do with the card of the week, but I'm going to say it anyway, is nothing is just black and white. There is a middle ground, and sometimes we have to, in order to create that balance, sometimes we have to just go in one direction and then go in the other direction so that we can find our balance. But it's not either or. So if somebody believes in the law of attraction, that does not mean that they don't believe that, pardon my French, merde happens. That doesn't necessarily have to be it. And those folks that do feel like they feel ashamed for not thinking positive, or they feel ashamed for having bad thoughts when, you know, they're supposed to be thinking positive all the time. You know, part of the trick of the law of attraction, part of the trick of creating things for yourself is to forgive yourself, is to, you know, acknowledge when you're feeling something. Obviously, from what's going on in the world and from what you may or may not be aware of in your own life, it is not a time to shove your feelings down. There are constructive ways of expressing yourself that are not hurtful to anybody else and not hurtful to yourself. It's important to be authentic. So, you know, okay, so maybe the page is coming in to teach us to be more authentic about what we need, what our needs are as far as feeling secure, what our needs are. You may have to be looking at a new direction in order to make sure that you get your basic shit met, you know. You may have been trying to create something and really banging your head against the wall for a while and not being able to pay your bills, not being able to pay for stuff you like, not being able to, you know, worrying all the time about whether you have a roof over your head or whether you have food and everything like that. Sometimes we have to, it doesn't have to be either or. Sometimes it can be both. Sometimes you know, you have to be part of the rat race and have a day job so that you can have the mental free time, have less worry because your basic needs are met so that you can be creative. And maybe this page is giving you the opportunity to learn something new as far as that's concerned. You never know. I have had to do that quite a few times. I have launched my self-employment, woo, quite a few times. And some people are very successful with that. And I think it's amazing. But I know that it hasn't worked for me yet. So here, see, there's that law of attraction, bad thought thing. But you never know. So learn something new, do something new in order to create stability and security in your life. And yes, this was a long one. I hope you stuck with me. You have an awesome week, and I look forward to next week. It'll be an even better card. You never know, right? Hang in there. Be kind to yourself. I'm gonna join me with it. Put your oxygen mask on first so that you can take care of everybody else. Thank you for your time. I thought I turned it off and I didn't turn it off. Hi. See you later.